This method is designed to minimize the amount of time tightening the locking nuts on the underside of the roof nest, which can be
So I
difficult.
just take the 60mm bolt that came with the kit, put it through the slider, right? Make sure that then it's going through with the concave section up, right? And then the locking nut, you got to use a ratchet for that. So basically, just take it, put it into the track, get a ratchet wrench, get that out to whatever depth you want, and you don't have to do this on the underside of the luggage rack on the top of your truck, which I found very awkward. All right, so once you get it to the length up the bolt that you want, then you stop.
How far up the bolt you put the nut is going to depend on your luggage rack, but for me it was about an inch that I left there, and then basically I thread this through, and then I went and bought, instead of these 60mm bolts, so here's the 40mm bolt that I went out and bought, right? So I'm going to take that and push it through first, right? Get it up in that track, you push it, and then basically you got to lift the whole roof nest, which I'm going to do, and then when I come back, I'll be the 40mm bolt will be on the other side. Slide it from the back or slide it from the front. I'll show you next what to do with the 40. You push it up into that track, right? And then you can pull it forward. So now I slid through that. That's the shorter 40mm bolt towards the inside of the car. The 60mm bolt that came with it's at the outside of the car. This whole assembly, right, with the bracket, the bolt, and the locking nut. Now you don't have to tighten and untighten that anymore. You can just slide that whole thing out and keep it for the next time. You don't have to, you just leave this. You don't have to tighten it. This is the one now that you tighten on the 40mm side, but it's just a lot less tightening underneath the car, which I found very awkward. So all you got to do is basically hand thread that like I did, the little locking nut on the 40mm, and then use the ratchet wrench to tighten it up. And then basically you take a ratchet. I have a 13mm ratchet wrench here. So I just basically use the ratchet wrench, a 13mm, sandwich it between two like scissor fingers, one finger on top, one finger on bottom to keep it onto the locking nut, and then you can just jam it and it tightens up in no time. And that's it.